Good people of YouTube, I'm the Watch Idiot, and 5 months ago I got the Citizen AQ4091, and I said that I would take it over a Rolex Oyster Perpetual or an Omega Aqua Terra all day, every day. But now, after 5 months of ownership, it's not looking so good. Yeah, no, I still mean every single word. I would take this over an Oyster Perpetual or Aqua Terra, or now many other watches with no regrets, and I don't see that changing. So in this video, I'm gonna go over my loves and hates about this watch, because as much as I love it, it's not perfect. Although the strap that I got for it over here was godsend. And then also I'll go over how this watch has effectively changed my relationship with watches in general and also with my collection. Zero exaggeration there, because not only can I sometimes just not comprehend how much I love this watch, but on top of that, it's a fixed bezel 3-hander, which for me as a dive watch guy is a very different experience. So yeah, I'm excited to talk about the Citizen, but also because it's officially watch giveaway time for 25,000 subscribers, which is still crazy to think about. But it is this here yellow SSK GMT, and yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. But more information on how to enter and all that good stuff later on in the video, but let's get into it. And first love is the experience of titanium. I love titanium. I remember my mind being absolutely blown when I first felt the bracelet of my Pelagos, which was my first ever titanium watch. And ever since then, I've loved the lightness of titanium and consequently how unbelievably comfortable they are. And since then, my titanium watches have been getting lighter and lighter, and somehow the Citizen is even lighter, and it's just otherworldly. For some context, a Black Bay 58 on the bracelet size for my 7.5-inch wrist comes in at about 137 grams, which is not heavy, but also not very light for a steel watch. The Citizen on the bracelet size for my wrist comes in at 81 grams. That's 56 grams less. That's just on another level, and actually it's 10 to 20 grams lighter than my other already very light titanium watches, and those watches feel very light. So feeling the silky bracelet and then having it disappear on my wrist is just a magical feeling that I cannot get enough of, and I will not ever get enough of, and that's also why it's been breaking all my wrist time records. And then on my Lifesaver strap, it comes in at 51 grams all in, because the strap is only 9 grams. So just for context, again, the whole watch is just 3 grams more than the classic DW5600 from G-Shock. So yeah, that's just insane. But yeah, this is seriously my favorite strap because they look awesome, but I also can punch holes in them very easily for more adjustment. I mean, I bought 9 of these in multiple colors for my 19mm Navigator timer, 20mm, of course, multiple for my 21mm Spirit Zulu time, which tapers to 18mm, which is weirdly rare. And then also, of course, 22mm for my awesome new SRPL, which will most likely be my next video. And the links to these straps are in the comments if you're curious about the strap. But anyways, it saved this watch because the bracelet has no micro adjust, which is a big problem that I'll explain in the hate section, of course. But in short, I didn't wear this watch for nearly 2 months, I think, as it warmed up outside, right up until I tried this strap on it, and everything just kicked into place. It's essentially got quick adjustment with extra punched holes, and it's soft, and it's not too sporty, not too dressy, and it's just so light, so I'm not losing the ultra light titanium feel and experience of the watch, and I can now wear it through the summer, which wouldn't have been otherwise possible. So I'm just glad that I genuinely love it, this entire combination, as opposed to it just being like, you know, it'll do through the summer, and I will just put it back on the bracelet as soon as I can. And also it happens to accentuate the lines of the case. I love looking at the crown side of the case. It's curved and angled, and you can see the date adjustment pusher that looks beautiful, and also the crown looks incredible, albeit just a bit small maybe. And just to address some concerns that people had, this on the bracelet, despite the lightness, it feels extremely high quality. There's no mistaking that. I mean, it's not gonna be rattly or tinny, everything that you think that might happen, because this is just so beautifully made and silky. Next love is the look of the dial, because it's stunning and it keeps me looking down at my watch whenever I wear it, which alongside the titanium experience is making me wear this watch constantly. And I love the hands, the indices, the frame date window. Oh, and I also gotta say that the typeface of the date numerals is weirdly good. There's an extra bit of flair here, and I love the look of the 4. It's all unique, and it just doesn't look anemic like the Pelagos date numerals. I mean, it's awful. But of course, the texture of the dial is where it's at. The washi paper dial looks straight black in a lot of lights, but also you get to see the subtle texture a little bit more, and then also depending on the lighting conditions, sometimes you see the texture pop more, but also in the other lights you see the striations of the paper more. So I think this is easily the most interesting black dial that I've ever seen. And then in direct light, you can see the shadows cast by the indices and the text, which just compounds the 3D effect of everything on this dial. Oh, and the clear sunburst layer on the dial isn't distracting at all, which I was worried about before I got it, but happy days. Then there's that incredible movement, which is essentially the perfect quartz movement because it's solar powered, it's accurate to plus or minus 5 seconds a year, which is insane. And most interestingly, it's got a perpetual calendar, and also it's got an independently adjustable hour hand. So everything put together, you've got a watch that you literally never have to adjust, and you never have to lose your accuracy. I mean, it's truly perfect. And just because I wanted to see it again, and I'm sure others want to see it again too, here it is, switching from February 28th to March 1st seamlessly at midnight a few months ago. I mean, just how cool is that? Oh, and then last thing that I didn't know before is that the seconds hand is self-centering, because why not? If you want more details about the watch and this movement specifically, just check out my original review video. I go into a lot more detail. And finally, I love that it's legitimately changed how I look at watches, because before this, I almost never wore three-handers as much as I conceptually loved them. And because of that, I never took a chance on buying them because I knew I just wouldn't wear them. For the 8 years that I've been tracking my wrist time stats, three-handers get maybe like 4 to 10 days a year. But I'm wearing this so much and I'm enjoying it, so I'm now used to not having a rotatable bezel, and there are, though, quite a few times that I do wish that I had a bezel to mark the time or something like that, but I just get over it because I'm just so taken in by the watch itself. So now I'm much more willing to try out more three-handers because this watch proved to me that buying one won't be a waste of money. And this is a huge win for me because I can now experience more of the watch world, because the selection of three-hander fixed bezel watches it's enormous, including a whole bunch of integrated bracelet sports watches. So, you know, that said, I'm still gonna be hesitant about trying them out because that means that whatever this new watch is gonna have to go up against the Citizen. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough battle for any watch out there. And the main hate here, as I'm sure many of you can tell, is the bracelet. Although this hate is entirely season dependent because I absolutely love it in the winter, and the bracelet itself is beautiful and just wonderfully silky and just wonderfully finished as well. But I hate it in the summer because it has no micro adjustment on the clasp, which in 2025 is just a no-no. And this isn't an issue in the winter because my wrist doesn't expand and contract, but in the summer, it does all the time, and I hate it when my watch feels super tight on my wrist. And because of this, I had to keep it on the looser side, so it was just a little bit too loose indoors, and I didn't want to risk it being too tight when I go outside and I have no choice. So because of that, I just ended up not wearing it quite as much for nearly 2 months. And also because I got other watches, but anyway. In the end, no matter how much I love a watch, if it's not comfortable, I'm just not gonna wear it. So at that point, I was staring down an entire summer of not being able to wear it, and that was making me very sad, on top of the fact that I'm very much a winter person. So basically, summer was taking everything away from me, and I wasn't gonna stand for that. And then thankfully, I tried it on the Seiko strap that I talked about earlier, and given the hot and humid weather that happens here around Maryland, I needed to find a light option that makes the watch disappear, and thankfully, this hit every single mark on that end. And then that brings me nicely to the 25,000 subscribers watch giveaway, which is gonna be this yellow dial SSK, where is it? There it is. This yellow dial SSK GMT, which I think is gonna be the perfect, you know, summer watch, because it's the kind of watch that many people would like to own, but not actually spend the money on getting one, because it's kind of like a bizarre color, not a bizarre color, it's just like a very different fun color that you might not wear as much. And because of that, and because of my love for Seiko, and because of how awesome every single one of you are, I wanted to make this giveaway special as a huge thanks to every single one of you for making this channel and this community what it is, because obviously it wouldn't be anything without all of you. So yeah, thank you so much for that. So anyways, how do you enter this giveaway? So to enter, you need to do 3 things. First off, like and subscribe, of course, but then you comment down below where you're from and how where you are affects the kinds of watches or straps that you wear. And then finally, go onto your phone to the new community section of the channel by hitting visit community, where now all of you can post things for a much more two-way, multi-dimensional conversation between all of us. So go post something about your own watches there, whether it's a wrist shot or a pet peeve, or a watch that you have on your wish list, a strap you've been loving, just go for it, anything. Pictures included. And then I'll announce the winner in the next video in 2 weeks, and I'll reply to the winner with the next steps. So yeah, there you have it. Good luck to all of you, and thank you to every single one of you for being awesome. And yeah, until the next video where I announce, good day.